God has a point to prove with you. Yeah. You've kept your peace. You've been quiet. You've been still. You've been about the Father's business, and you put everybody else before yourself. Very few people can say that. But you really do. God has a point to prove with you. Elijah had to hide out a long time. Do you remember? Then the day comes and God comes by and he says, it's time. And he goes up the mountain, and Obadiah is afraid because Obadiah has hid the prophets of God for a long time. And Obadiah works for Ahab, who is a terrible man. And so is the woman he's with, Jezebel. Probably heard of her a time or two. But all this time, Elijah has kept his peace. But not anymore. Because God has come to prove a point, and he's brought that point through his prophet Elijah. And Obadiah says, oh God, please, you don't understand, Elijah. You are anointed, and I am Obadiah. And I will go and tell them that you are alive, Elijah, and they will kill me. And you will just scoot off to the next adventure because you're anointed. Well, Elijah doesn't have the sympathy that Obadiah expects. Not because he doesn't feel for him, but because he knows better, because he knows he's anointed too. He knows that because he's helped them. He's been a part of it the whole time. And he goes up the mountain, and he says this. He says, you tell Ahab that he's going to see me today. And Elijah's all alone. Well, for most of this story, Elijah has been hidden because Elijah doesn't want to die. I mean, he had. But in that moment, he comes into the full knowledge of who he is, and he says, you tell Ahab he's going to see me today. And this ridiculous show of trying to get idols to show up, these false prophets of Baal. And then it's Elijah's turn. And in a drought, he asks for water. In a drought, he asks for more. He rebuilds the altar, the 12 tribes represented. He honors all that come before him. God's a God of order, you know. And he creates the altar back again. He wets it all down. And he lays out the sacrifice. And God consumes it even in water with complete and utter fire. It's consumed. Because your God is what? An all-consuming fire. Well, those prophets are no more because people don't like to be lied to. And then Elijah says, don't you hear the sound of the abundance of rain? And the only person who can hear it is him. He tells Ahab, you better go. Better get ahead of the cloud. Well, nobody hears it and nobody sees it, not even a student of Elijah's. And he says, I don't see anything. He says, look again. He says, look again. He tells him 7 times until he sees like a hand-sized cloud. He says, I gotta get on my way, buddy. And even being last, he still makes it first. God has a point to prove with you. And this is where it all begins. It might be the end for some, but it is a whole new beginning for you. And you're about to see. You know, so are they. No matter what they say, they are about to see that the Lord your God is I am. And you have been his point prover the whole time.